Isaac.
We're like Albert and Einstein.
We're like Albert did. I don't even know, bro. What's up, Penelope Barker? How are you doing this fine evening, Penelope Barker? Do you hate Penelope Barker, bro? Are you being racist to her?
Yep. Sure am.
Oh, caught that on tape, bro. You're going to jail for being racist or something.
I like my real cartoons.
You said you like minors?
No, I said I like my women real, not cartoons.
Ooh, okay, man. If you say so.
Why are you not agreeing, bro? Do you have some weird fantasy or something?
I didn't even hear what you said. I was just kind of like agreeing.
Oh. Do you want to know what I said? No.
Nah, not really, bro.
Sounds good.
And maybe you should just like go kill yourself or something, bro. No, I was joking. Please don't, Caleb. Please, please.
Gunshot sound.
Kaboom. Was that a gunshot, guys?
What did he do it?
Oh my god! I thought this wandering trader was sell. I thought the wandering trader was giving. I thought he was giving an emerald for a poppy. But it was not that.
We've been on the call for.
What?
That's how long we've been on the call for.
How long?
1 hour, 16 minutes, and 45 seconds.
That was a good one, man. That was a good one.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Anyways, it hit 41 a minute ago. You know what that means, right?
What?
I gotta send you a postcard saying happy birthday. Because it's your birthday today.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah, you're welcome, actually. I'm a pretty nice guy.
I think you're off a couple. You didn't hear it from me.
Oh. Well, you're the one who said it was your birthday, so it's kind of your fault if I missed it.
Or when I said?
Yesterday, bro. You're like, oh yeah, tomorrow's my birthday. Trust me, you said that.
Really now?
Yeah, bro, of course I would never lie. I'm not a liar. I'm a truther. What's so funny?
I don't spit lies. I speak facts.
That was tough, gang. You want a cookie for it?
About as tough as a bowl of mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. I like mashed potatoes. They're pretty good.
Jeez, this class is taking all year to smell.
I got my auto smoker on it. It's not going very fast. We need to make like 1,000 auto smokers, bro. That'd be low-key. It'd be kind of tough.
It's not gonna last any faster. It's just gonna spread it out more.
What do you mean? It's literally what? Yo, bro.
Don't misplay of them.
Whoops.
My soul hurts.
My day hurts. I feel the pain in my day. This stupid chicken just made me place a block on the chicken and it took the block and didn't give it back. It's retarded. Kill the chicken. Kill the chicken. Kill the chicken. Stupid chicken getting in my way like a freaking idiot. Freaking idiot chicken.
Eat the feathers.
Don't eat the feathers, bro. They're not good for you. They're gonna make you like throw up blood or something. I don't know. Last time I ate feathers, I threw up blood. So I don't know. Maybe it's not the same for you.
I don't recall feathers doing that.
I
I was not.
need to make another auto smudger like on the other side. That'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool idea. Pretty cool idea. I wish we were richer, bro.
I know.
I wish I had like actual real life money.
But we've got to beat the Ender Dragon at some point. I can already feel the 2-week Minecraft phase fading.
We're barely even done anything yet, gang. We have to do stuff. Bro, I'm still having a good time. I know you're talking about fading. The only thing fading for me is the low taper. What if Ninja got the low taper fade?
Yo. That joke was outstanding.
Secret handshake. Secret handshake.
Thank you.
Bro, how do you get this stuff, bro? It's not fair.
I paid for it.
Why?
It was when I was like 12, and I was irresponsible with my money.
Emoticons.
For stupid Minecraft emotes. These were probably like, I bet you these were like $8 or something. Like, these were probably not worth it at all.
I don't know, bro. Tokens free. Vibrant Adventures.
Only 4 glass an hour.
There's glass melting downstairs too.
We just AF.
Why the freak would it not do this, bro? It's retarded. This is so annoying. Whatever.
Bro, I'm ready for PlayStation Plus to drop some more monthly games, even though it's like not even mid-November.
I agree with that. They need to drop some like actual good multiplayer games.
I was about to say they did all right. They did all right this month, but next month, I'm scared they're gonna completely airball it next month.
Yeah.
If they ever do good, gosh, it's gonna be horrible the next month.
You know, if they have a good month one time, that's not gonna be good the next.
If they ever have a slightly above average month, you better just wrap it up at that point.
Put the fries in the bag already, bro, Chacho.
For real.
Wait, what am I even looking for? What am I even doing, bro? I'm just looking at random stuff. Dubai. We can just get the entire country of Dubai. There's just a map on the PlayStation Store for free that's just like Dubai.
Why?
It's
like,
just
send me like a picture of it. What the heck?
it's just Dubai in 2020, bro. Hold on, let me find it. Let me find your name. Caleb, there it is. It's just Dubai. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. It's just there, bro.
Expo 2020 Dubai for free.
We are all getting this.
Minecraft, why do you have this, bro?
I know we're playing this, Will. I know we're playing this.
Bro, Brianna always gives the most inspirational texts. Like, at 5 o'clock, she texts me, "What dinner?"
It's better than my sister, bro. She doesn't even, her texts are so dry, bro. Even drier than your sister's. You're not playing this game. Brug. Yeah, bro. Are you tough? Or are you tough? Good question. Um,
Yeah.
um,
What?
I'm scared. Bro, what are you doing?
Look at this issue.
Ugh. Oh my god, this emote is so good. I wish I had $5.
It's better if you put it in like 2 times speed.
Okay. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. They just take 8 years to send.
But why is it actually like crazy cold?
I cannot see it, bro. It's taking forever.
Like I'm in a hoodie and pants. No. Oh. Oh no. Oh, take this.
Swiss cheese, y'all. Wait, I can spam click? I forget. This is bedrock. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I hitting my hand like that?
Alright, bro, we're just damaging armor. There's like no point in doing it.
We're like rich, bro. It's okay. By the time we need to repair our armor, we're probably gonna have like villagers and stuff, so it's probably fine.
And I love
I wish my mom loved me.
you.
She used to tell me that every single night. Now, I'm forgotten about. It's okay though, I don't really care. Because I'm a Sigma.
But deep down.
But deep down.
I know.
What now? You said a little bit about what now, boy?
Bro, look at my. Come here. Look what I did. Look at the shadow one.
He looks stupid.
Sweet.
Retarded ab boy.
Now it's just got a stupid triangle in the middle of it.
Why did you do this, bro?
You're
hate
welcome,
this.
bro. I'm literally blocking the sun with this build.
I hate this. This is dumb.
Gosh, it's beautiful. You can't even see the sun. It's so cool.
Oh my god, I just got a really good idea. What block in this red is what block in this game is red?
Red wool.
I don't want to get wool, bro. We don't have a sheep farm. I mean, there's diorite, but I don't want to go mine that because it's hard to find. Or yeah, diorite. I think it's red.
There's concrete.
Then I have to get like a ton of red dye. Bro, all these options just suck. I just want to build a giant ketchup bottle. A giant Heinz ketchup bottle. It could be like mustard or something.
Red flowers are everywhere. I mean, are you sure you don't want to do like red wool?
We could do some other condiment. We could do like a giant pickle jar or something. I don't know.
We could do mustard. I'm sure there's yellow flowers about.
If you don't shut the freak up, talking about some mustard. Yeah, and then we gotta put our another portal in there. We are all using 100% of our brains for this. Even the viewers. My 1 million gazillion viewers, which is working me in a gazillion dollars. A bazillion.
You're just live streaming as we speak.
Biz. I'm literally a bee yang. I can't hear you. Biz. I wish I was like really good at building, man. That'd be sick. I feel like that would suck though. Cause then
like being bad at building forces you to be creative. Like look our beautiful cobblestone or crafting table tower. Like, if we were good at building, we would have built something that awesome.
Yeah, if we were good at building, would have built like a generic little wooden house or something.
Yeah, if we were playing with Lewis, we would have built a generic house and then quit the world after 2 weeks.
Or built like a little sky-based thing. Like, boo, you stink. Bro, playing with Smarties and them is so boring.
What about like a platform on top of the crafting house, so that way it actually serves a purpose?
There's already a tree up there. We can probably use it whenever, whenever if we make a platform. Let's make it like a you know those things at airports where like they see all the stuff, the airport terminal things.
Yeah.
Let's make one of those, but out of crafting tables.
We'll have to build it like perfectly like spherical.
Yo, what is this video you said you're gonna send to me? It hasn't come through yet. Is it? Oh wait, is it on Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh my god, bruh. I've been sitting on messages for like an hour.
Should we build it like spherical or just square?
Whatever it looks like in the picture you're putting off of. What?
Put in 2 times speed, it's better.
Okay, let me restart. How do I put in 2 times speed? I gotta zoom in. Wait, how the freak do you... Oh, hold on. I got it.
Well, bro, did I waste your time? Why do I hear it?
I'm not ever watching anything you send me again, bro. I know my videos gotta be funnier than the slop you send to me. Absolute dog water, boo-boo, slop. Man, shut the freak up. Yes, sir.
Build the like lookout tower on top of the crafting table, like spherical or square.
Whatever it looks like in the reference picture you're gonna use.
I know normally they look spherical, but I think it will still look fine. It looks like a.
What do you mean they look? They don't look spherical, bro. What are you talking about? I'm gonna look it up right now.
I just put in lookout thing at airport.
Airport.
Rusty.
Freaking idiot.
See, this one looks a little familiar.
What are you talking about, bro?
Look on messages, bro. Looks a little familiar.
What?
Bro, these things ain't spherical at all. They're not even
It looks like a Pizza Hut.
I know. Look at this. Look what I sent you. What is that?
Here, bro. I think I have an idea. Hold on. So, what if we go up there and like, we do it in like, how do I explain this? Okay. Look behind you, bro. I'm gonna do it with cobblestone. So this is the floor. Turn around, bro. Or turn around. Oh my god, bro. Turn around. Look. So this is the floor, or like the base of the tower right there. And then this is gonna be like glass, and it's gonna go out like 3 blocks like this. Not like this, like slanted. And then we're gonna like put like a little roof on it.
Yeah, I can see how that would.
Okay.
You also realize that your bottomless pond was covered.
Oh, I did not.
Who did?
You know, it looks better that way anyways. Whatever. I'm not even mad about it. I'm just gonna dig it back up for no apparent reason, though, of course.
Not even mad about it. Is that flint and steel? Is that TNT? Are you pondering or are you crying?
I was crying because you destroyed my lake for like 5 seconds. I fixed it though. Yo, finish your build so we can finish our other build. I have like a ton of glass here.
Bro, screw this.
You can't. You already started it. We can't just have this giant thing here. It's kind of like your house. You still have to finish your house, bro. You never finished it. Oh, I have it on the right way. What the freak? I thought I put it on backwards.
No, the cat, the sister, the pig, the cows was on when you left.
Actually, that was a pig. I'm watching the reels you send me.
Oh yeah, they're like, gosh, they're so peak. I'm so mad that you just. Jeez, they're so peak. Bro, is it good?
I already seen it, but it was pretty good.
Are the laughables enjoyable?
Yeah, bro.
Guess who this Roblox legend is, huh? Yup, I'm out here dropping threes, making ankle. Guess who?
You can't make this shit up. Can't make it up. This little bird. Get the fuck out. You can't make this shit up. Can't make it up.
Hey, bro, guess what?
What? What?
Cilantro.
Yeah, real, bro. I agree.
I said that and all I heard was your voice lagging.
Oh!
Oh my god.
What are you watching?
Oh my god.
Are you still watching my reels?
No. I'm watching my reels. Waiting for you to finish your stupid little house.
You mean the slop that you sent me?
This is how we're talking about.
Bro, I can just tell that your stuff's horrible because all the stuff I try and watch tells me that it's unavailable and it says it's like banned.
Oh, that's what it tells you. Oh. Well, maybe you should just like, I don't know, bro. Do something about that. Probably because it goes against the community guidelines. But I have that turned off.
And my son, 12, syncing emotes, and my wife lets me go. Okay, bro. When I'm trying to mess with
The fans
you're light me up with a pack of punch, bro.
What goes through your mind? Oh, I saw I got the back end of that question. The fans go crazy. Your walkout makes.
Bro, what is this?
Just don't answer at all.
Making some chicken breast.
Does anybody like feet?
I was cooking without pants on.
Ooh.
Inflamed in the pee hole hurts if I touch it. Is it possible I got salmonella poisoning? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, he's dead.
Does anybody like
What's going on? I can't understand what this video is about. Oh my god, bro. I want some Pizza Hut pizza, bro. That sounds actually exquisite.
And feeling like P. Diddy. Grab my glasses, I'm out the door.
I'll be out. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We're coming out.
I'll give you a copy of this, don't worry. You're a star. I'll take all your details. This is going to be a...
I finished.
Oh, W. Oh, finally. Okay, what are we doing now?
Well, we're gonna build the terminal, but that's gonna be tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, but do not build it without me. I swear if you take all the good ideas and build them without me.
I won't. I might build something else, though.
Okay, bro.
Okay, bye-bye. Totally do. What the fuck should I build? I could fucking watch TV. Where the fuck is my remote? God damn it. I have one more. I look, you can't tell which one's more comfortable.
Refrigerator death, emo killings in Iraq, James Will John, and what even is it? Osama bin Laden, Elephant Human Z, Polar Bear Jake, The Great Stink, Hector, Cloud. There are over 7 million articles on the English-speaking Wikipedia. If you printed that out, it would look something like this. And I've been sifting through it to find the most
It's nothing like a haircut to make you feel alive,
Satisfactory, a game, a lifestyle, and undiagnosed neurodivergence. In this new and exciting conveyor belt simulator, you play as Humpy Woman, the world's greatest climate change accelerationist, on a personal crusade to increase shareholder value through total planetary annihilation. I know that sounds fun, but it's actually a debilitating mental disorder, because this game is like heroin, but without the needles, and it has taken over my life. I think I had a wife and kids before Satisfactory. However, I can't be sure, because I've replaced all of my formative memories with the optimal build order of smelters to maximize my chances of a woman never talking to me again. But that's alright, because this game isn't about women, it's about the environment. And the only thing the environment fears is us, because we will utilize stunning innovations such as complex train networks, armies of kamikaze drones, and unregulated pollution to commodify every known resource on this godforsaken world. Can we successfully achieve
Goodness
planetary
gracious, dude.
domination? Or will I get really confused by my conveyor belts and die in the process? There's only one way to tell. But first, capitalism. Hypothetical situation. You're home alone eating a salad when suddenly a gang of IRS agents break into your apartment and start harassing you. It's been 14 years since you filed your taxes, and they're threatening you with late payment penalties. Honestly, it's not looking good. However, all of this could have been avoided with today's sponsor, GamerSupps. This company sells delicious and highly effective energy supplements. By injecting even a single picogram of the patented formula, you will have the requisite strength to beat the IRS to death. Taxation is theft. Now I don't want you to be dignified. So please, get your GamerSupps today using code REGGIE.
The fuck is there a pig in there, dude?
Back to video. Here we are, a lone pioneer ready to manifest destiny all over this jungle hellscape. Our primary goal is to reach tech level 9 and beat the game. However, we have started, so we are technologically in the Paleolithic era, confined to such rudimentary tools as mining picks and tasers. Here, our survival depends on brute force and our propensity for deforestation. That means that I set up base camp at the top of this incredibly inconvenient mountain and spend the next 2 hours collecting fistfuls of grass to power our biofuel generators. Now, before you classify this as an avant-garde landscaping simulator, I need you to understand that you're not actually quite satisfactory yet. Everything prior to unlocking full power is simply a skill test to weed out the gotcha players and mentally insane. Note to self, once you've got somewhere between 1 and 2,000 leaves, you can process them into biofuel and start building your empire. The first few times you attempt this, you will build for about 5 to 7 hours before realizing you've only fucked everything up. Because your iron ingots are phasing through each other, you have 15 constructors all running at 9% efficiency, and your power grid violently explodes whenever you turn on the toaster oven. Apart from damaging your self-esteem, this experience should also teach you that as your industry grows, organizing the products you manufacture becomes increasingly difficult, which is why I believe in mega warehouse supremacy. Rather than exposing my latent damage by storing materials in multiple places all over the map, I propose a singular massive warehouse that will contain every resource in the game. Now, when it comes to mega factories, we have two main considerations. Do we want to acquire girth by building horizontally, or should we utilize a vertical domain? I feel strongly that anyone who builds vertically should be put on a list and medically dissected for science. In fact, the average vertical building enthusiast will arise every morning at exactly 5 a.m. as if diabolically possessed. They will then proceed to the bathroom, where they splash 24 molar nitric acid in their eyes and chant the name of a local politician in the mirror while stabbing a voodoo doll 13 hours straight. After that, it's time for supper. The vertical builder drops to all fours and prowls the streets for prey, consuming any children who aren't able to run faster than 65 kilometers per hour. Honestly, it's pretty gruesome stuff. So we're going to be building horizontally. This is going to take a lot of concrete, so let's get to work. We start by locating all limestone nodes within a 1-kilometer radius. Set up some automated mining drills and create a pipeline of conveyor belts to transfer everything to a concrete factory, which produces 75 bags per minute. We also need iron and some copper for this project, but our power grid is kind of maxed out right now, so we have to resort to these shameful and repugnant portable mining devices. Using portable miners is kind of embarrassing.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
It's like smoking crack in a public park. Sure, everyone has to do it at some point, but if I catch you doing it for more than 10 minutes, I will report you to the police, and I will take your place. Anyway, I swallowed my pride and gathered enough resources to begin construction on the mega warehouse. So, let it begin. Well, there it is, the pinnacle of ultra-utilitarianism, a floating rectangle. Now it's time to start filling it up. The goal is to have every resource enter and exit this facility. So, for example, the iron ore comes into these elevators, gets stored in these containers, leaves on this conveyor belt, comes back as iron ingots, stored again, leaves again, back as iron plates, stored, leaves, and finally returns as reinforced iron plates. You may look at all of this and ask yourself, is this physically painful? The answer is yes, but it's necessary. I have a concept of happiness, and every step towards it makes me increasingly suicidal. I don't let that stop me though, because I believe in the process, and you should too. The Mega Warehouse will take care of you as long as you play by its rules. For example, there will be a temptation to build some kind of ladder or ramp to safely reach the ground, but any real warehouse enthusiast will simply launch themselves on the top floor while reaching the industrial pushing their fall. Also, you may notice that occasionally animals like to spawn or wander into the warehouse. I regret to inform you that there is no effective way to get rid of them, but there is a really funny one. I'll conclude this bit with one final thought. If your warehouse is artistically satisfying or even beautiful, you're going to need to buy cosmetic items using Awesome Shop tickets. Don't worry, this isn't an in-game cash shop. It's actually much worse. To gain Awesome Shop tickets, you'll have to acquaint yourself with the Awesome Sync. You spend hundreds of hours carefully producing each item in your factory, and this is a machine that grinds them to dust in exchange for company fun tickets. There are two ways to view this interaction. The Awesome Sync is either a New Age religious icon, which requires ritual sacrifice, or it is the hypothetical home invader that forces you to choose which one of your kids will be shot in the head. Fortunately, I've got about 10,000 kids, and they're all named Reinforced Iron Plate, so the decision isn't too difficult. By this point, our industry looks like 4 iron extractors pulling out 480 pieces of ore each minute, which we are refining into various products at one of several micro factories across our territory. We've also got the same thing happening to the north with copper, and all of it is being pumped back into the warehouse for organization and storage. You'll know you're doing this correctly if your warehouse starts looking like some terminally ill creature, being kept alive only by the 55 life support tubes sticking out of its grotesque body. Now that we've got all that sorted out, we can start working toward our first major milestone. You see, 3 weeks ago, Dave Newell crash landed on this planet, and his obscene mass is destabilizing its orbit. So our primary objective is to create an industrial elevator capable of airlifting him back into outer space. I already started the elevator, but each phase of the game requires us to add more supplies to it, and in reward, we will unlock new technologies.
How the fuck did you get out, you dumb little shit? I think I died. Fuck came back in here,
But to
retard.
unlock that, we have to send up 50 smart plates. They take a pretty long time to make, which is why I recommend the oldest trick in the book, leaving your game running while you go to the grocery store. By the time you come back, you'll either have all 50 plates, or your power grid will have exploded. In my case, I got the plates and sent them up the elevator. If you found anything about that challenging, I recommend you buckle up, because comparatively, the next milestone is going to feel like you're being hit in the head repeatedly with a car battery. That being said, let's move on to phase 2. Now that we've unlocked coal power, your primary psychosexual desire above eating and even breathing should be making the power station as quickly as humanly possible. We're just going to need 2 things. Water, which should be easy to find unless you started in the desert, in which case you deserve what's happening to you. And the final ingredient, coal. My closest coal node is about 1 kilometer away. So it's time for us to create the Great Trans-Saharan Coal Pipeline. It went a little like this. Very fun, but we got the coal. Let's move to the water extractor, build a few power generators, and call it a day. Setting this up is a huge step forward, because it's all completely automated. Our manual biogenerators run so that the coal power can run. Actually, it's more like they drag their body across the floor in agony. But either way, building your power grid, you're going to take 2 things. First, JFK wasn't a very good boxer. He didn't have the head movement. And second, wow, look at all this power. I am set for life. The latter observation is what we call a delusion. But for now, we can live in its blissful ignorance. With that taken care of, I set up a few steel production facilities and started unlocking new tech for us. First, we got the blueprint scanner. It allows us to save specific builds inside it and then copy and paste them anywhere we want. It's terrific, because setting up storage containers in the warehouse is very tedious and stressful. I think the closest analogy would be using a bomb that's strapped to your own forehead. In previous versions of the game, you could exploit the blueprint scanner by placing it at the bottom of a lake, building a water extractor inside of it, and then pasting this blueprint on dry land, or even floating in the sky, effectively creating an industrial dehumidifier and providing you with an indefinite source of water anywhere in the world. But the legal team that nest, they patched this bug out of the game, and the person who popularized it was found dead with 47 self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Never forget what they have taken from us. Apart from that, we also unlocked Quick Recruits and created a Quick Recruit database to facilitate high-speed travel between the warehouses and various factories and mining sites across the map. Now, if being sucked through a pneumatic tube at 140 kilometers an hour isn't exhilarating enough for you, you can stack accelerators to turn this into a fucking cannon. I'm serious. You can achieve faster than light travel using this technique. Oh, by the way, the production of 1,000 smart plates, 1,000 engines. I really hope you've been doing that, because I haven't. And according to my math, it's going to take about 5 hours. So I set up 5 assemblers to start production and took some time to reflect on my journey thus far. How's the base? Well, I think this is the most tangible expression yet of my heretofore undiagnosed autism. Much like a greasy 400-pound strongman, it is best described as a functional, anti-medicine beauty. And that's okay, because somewhere after the 20-hour mark, people who aren't criminally insane stop hearing from 90-degree angles. Also, by the mark, you should notice you've become supernaturally good at multiplying by 60 divided by 2. I intrinsically know that the second reading of the conveyor belt split 3 times. 5 iron rods, 400 plates, and 45 35% power slow. Not because I do the math, but because it's ingrained on every one. After several hours of mumbling myself about the conveyor belt, we have finally produced all of the materials for the space elevator. And after blasting into orbit, we unlocked years 1 and 6. Notable research includes crane networks, jetpacks, and most importantly, your existence prior to full power was that of a single-celled organism. Post-full power, you are maybe an infant or a rabid animal, but access to oil is where you become a man. Right now, the power grid is starting to struggle, so we need to begin harnessing the might of oil-to-fuel conversion. My scanner indicates the closest oil nodes are 900 meters away in such stunning environments as jungle and wet jungle. The topography of these areas is not suitable to my fascistic desire for order, and if you feel the same way, I recommend using cluster munitions to defoliate the landscape and explode all of the wildlife. After I was done doing that, I built a few oil extractors, and then I built a few more. We now have more crude oil than I can physically transport, so I just start drinking the stuff, which allows me to enter a state of enlightenment soon.
Why the fuck is there musical, dude? We're working on a picture for this shit.
Capitalist pig dogs attack us. What we have built, I am not hallucinating. Iran is very powerful. Praise be the prophet. Where was I? Oh, yes. So I began pumping hundreds of liters of crude oil into several refineries to produce plastic, rubber, and liquid fuel. These are all very valuable resources, and we need to get them back to the warehouse for storage. If you align yourself with the term chronically underdeveloped man-child, you may decide to just create a 4-kilometer stack of conveyors all the way back. But I suggest using what the game provides, which is why we're making a train station. One end in the jungle to load our supplies onto the train. The other end is on top of the warehouse to unload the goods. And everything in between is floating through the sky, because I'm a hack. If you want to achieve something similar to this, I recommend familiarizing yourself with mergers and smart splitters. Think of the mergers like Martin Luther King. He died for your right to desegregate your conveyor belts. Very useful. And the smart splitters are like a certain Austrian painter. He died for your right to resegregate your conveyors and send them to forced labor factories and industrial furnaces. You can probably imagine some issues with that one, but not to worry. Each smart splitter has been preemptively lobotomized with an AI limiter to prevent it from gaining sentience and annexing Czechoslovakia. With all of that sorted out, we were able to use a series of ceiling-mounted conveyor belts to deposit each item into its appropriate container. Meanwhile, the train is also transporting hundreds of liters of liquid fuel each trip, which we're pumping all the way to this freshly built power station. Each one of these produces 250 megawatts. That's equivalent to nearly 4 coal power generators. I take a moment to appreciate fossil fuels. I worship the oil. I am euphoric. Hydrocarbons are gone, and I will disseminate this presence into the atmosphere at 3,500 parts per million. Amen. Something about inhaling all that carbon dioxide and arsenic made me feel refreshed. Let's potentiate this high by reconnecting ourselves with nature. Exploration is an important part of the game, because there are vast, glamorous landscapes for you to experience. For example, I traveled to the fungal lowlands, where I discovered several majestic creatures. I was so taken by their beauty that I couldn't help but electrocute them with a taser and run them down in my trunk. Truly marvelous. I'm sorry, that was a bit of a fugue statement. What I'm actually doing here is looking for precious artifacts, such as other people's hard drives. We can occasionally find them crash-landed randomly on the map. Now, you'd think if someone was to go through the trouble of encrypting their hard drive, launching it to an alien planet, and crashing it in the middle of a desert, they would probably have some pretty heinous stuff on there. But these things are actually very useful. Each one contains an alternate production recipe. So instead of creating computers with circuit boards and wiring, you can achieve the same result by combining aluminum foil, a handful of pencil shavings, and a generous amount of your own saliva. It's really quite helpful. However, even better than that are the alien artifacts you can discover throughout the map. Most of the time, they're protected by violent animals, and if you pick them up, a strange voice will whisper vaguely threatening things to you.
Me pretending to be asleep so everybody at the party beats me off, but actually I just wanted to get beaten off.
But once you get past that, they're great. For example, Summer Sloop can be stuffed into your factories to allow for item duplication. Meanwhile, Mercer Spheres are used to create interdimensional storage depots. Anything I put into this gets uploaded to the cloud, meaning I don't have to have it in my inventory to be able to craft or build with it. So obviously, I stole as many of these funny orbs as I could and used them to augment my warehouse, thus giving me access to every resource in it at all times. I will admit, the probability that I actually develop interdimensional storage is quite low. Meanwhile, the chance that I'm just shoving all this stuff up my ass is fairly high, but I try not to think about that. Feeling rejuvenated by these developments, I decided it was time to take on the next phase of the Space Elevator. This one requires 2,500 versatile frames, 500 modular engines, and 100 adaptive control units. The production of these items took at least 15 hours and pushed both the factory and my sanity to their upper limits. Every conveyor belt, every megawatt of power, it was all dedicated to these shitty little items. By the end of it, I was completely exhausted. But as I watched the parts fly into low Earth orbit, I felt a certain glimmer of satisfaction. A hopeful optimism for the future. I thought, it's going to be okay. I was wrong. Because immediately after completing that phase, I look in the top right to see what they wanted next, only to be greeted by the following demands. 500 assembly director systems, 500 magnetic field generators, 250 thermal propulsion rockets, and 100 nuclear pasta. Assuming you're not completely psychotic, you probably have no idea what the fuck any of that is, so allow me to break it down for you. To produce these items, we will need the following. 1,000 crystal oscillators, 125 turbo motors, 125 fused modular frames, 375 motors, 500 electromagnetic control rods, 625 modular frames, 625 modular engines, 1,000 AI limiters, 1,100 heavy modular frames, 1,500 high-speed connectors, 1,875 heat sinks, 4,200 computers, 5,000 circuit boards, 5,000 automated wires, 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pipes, 7,500 steel beams, 8,200 aluminum casings, 11,500 liters of nitrogen gas, and finally, 14,000 pieces of plastic. It's hard to fully express how devastating this discovery was, but allow me to try. You are 10 years old, and it's Christmas Eve of 2004. You're walking home from the child labor factory. Your feet are frostbitten because your mother is selling your shoes so she can afford more affordable computers. But that's all right. It's Christmas, and Dad is back to you. Santa Claus. And then you're in the living room. It must be crushing the balloon, and there he is, Santa Claus.
Very good. You've been able to do it.
A smile spreads across his face. For Santa, he throws himself to you and asks, it is in this moment that you can no longer deceive yourself. Mom is a drug addict. Dad's never coming home, and Santa is a fraud. Safe to say, you're only disappointed, but you are only 5% as disappointed as I was when I saw the next phase of the Space Elevator. I guess that helped. So I spent a few hours sulking around, not really sure what to do about this problem, and then it came to me. In times of antiquity, divine fire ingest hallucinogenic compounds to gain clairvoyance and find solutions to their problems. Now, I don't have any crystal meth, but I do have a solar power plant. So I just stood on top of it until I achieved my revelation. The real problem here isn't the laundry list of random bullshit. It's that we're not polluting the planet.
The fuck are you doing here, idiot?
Retard.
Genuine fucking idiot. God damn retard.
Smash it up in a machine and then dissolve it into your fuel supply. You now have turbo fuel. Use this to double your power grid. That's good. We can go even further. We just need some nitrogen gas. Mother Nature plants her sweetest fruits deep underground. So we build a hydraulic fracking machine to pound her into compliance.
Ugly nigga.
Now take your nitrogen, mix with water, a handful of iron, and you've got nitric acid. Combine that with turbo fuel. Congratulations. Your entire power grid is now running on fucking rocket fuel. We're producing 300 liters of the stuff every minute. And after doing the math, I realized I could theoretically build and run 70 generators off of this supply. So obviously, I did. As I choked my way through a cigarette-flavored cloud of fog, I wondered if I had gone too far. Do I really need 70 generators? The answer is no. 75 is a much better number. With that taken care of, we can begin production. First items, 500 assembly director systems and 500 magnetic field generators. These require high-tech electronics, such as supercomputers. So I set up a mega factory to produce the necessary components and supplied it via the train network. I would be very proud of this accomplishment if my manufacturers weren't all around 18% efficiency. You see, assembling electronics is highly precise work that requires a specific ratio of ingredients. Meanwhile, trains are like sledgehammers of logistics. Sometimes you get what you need, and sometimes you'll get 20,000 Caterium ore, 2 pieces of plastic, and a thread from the
God fucking damn.
For many reasons, this is suboptimal. So I engaged in my classic problem-solving technique, which is trying to actually solve the problem for 2 hours, believing I solved the problem, realizing I didn't, getting unreasonably upset, and then eventually coming to terms with my new identity as an 18%er. Although I did eventually build a drone helipad on top of the warehouse, and I've been using that to transfer supplies between our factories, which has helped significantly. So that takes care of the director systems and field generators. Next is the thermal propulsion rocket. I want to go on record saying I hate the thermal propulsion rocket. It takes forever to assemble and has literally no use other than being recycled, which makes it the most complex piece of garbage in the entire game. Anyway, I set up a factory to produce the rockets. In order to reach it, I just have to shoot myself out of this cannon. If I don't have enough speed, I end up falling into a poisonous jungle and asphyxiating. But if I have too much speed, there's a 50% chance I smack into the side of the space elevator and die instantly. I think it says a lot that this was the most enjoyable part of building the rocket. The final item we have to manufacture is nuclear pasta. In order to achieve this, we require an ungodly amount of copper powder, some funny little cubes, and a high-speed particle accelerator, also known as a cyclotron. In the realm of nuclear physics, these are kind of a big deal. Allow me to explain. 2,000 years ago, alchemists were considered very intelligent and respectable members of society. Their goal was to transmute base ingredients such as lead into precious metals like gold. To accomplish this, they tried everything, ranging from complex chemical reactions to fermenting their own semen in a jar. I'm serious. 900 years before you were drowning Isabella in your degeneracy, a Swiss alchemist was boiling his cum to get rich, but it never worked. Fast forward to modern day. Now we have cyclotrons. These machines use oscillating electric fields to accelerate and fire charged particles at target materials, which on an atomic level transforms them into elements. So instead of spending 2,000 years pumping in jars, all these morons needed to do was build a $50 million particle accelerator to bombard the nucleus of a mercury atom with high-speed protons until it underwent nuclear spallation and physically transformed. What a bunch of idiots. What does any of that have to do with pasta? I have absolutely no clue. But that didn't stop me from manufacturing it. And after about 4 hours, we finally had all of the items necessary to advance to the last stage of the game. Now look, I understand that whole process didn't seem too bad, because I spent most of the time talking about gooning and killing myself. But the reality of the situation is that we're over 75 hours into the save, and this game is not so slow and driving me insane. The best way to appreciate my psychological degradation is to examine the progression of the warehouse. At the start, everything was clean, organized, and even color-coded. Around the middle, you can see some strange aesthetic decisions, but nothing crazy. And now by the end, it has very end of the warehouse, I even set up a manual production line to make parts for the space elevator, which is socially acceptable in phase 1. But by phase 4, it's the satisfactory equivalent of living your car at the age of 47. By this point, I had abandoned my final vestiges of humanity. I exist solely to manufacture. I assembled my conveyor belts in what could best be described as a state of drug-induced mania. Nothing makes sense anymore. And above all else, the idea of 100% efficiency has become an abstract concept, like workers' rights or domesticating the British, that despite our best efforts will never actually be achieved. So you could say I had some mixed feelings by this point in the game, but either way, I gathered up all the parts, tossed them into orbit, and took a long, depressing drag of a cigarette as I go here for our final experiment. Phase 5 offers exciting technologies such as this, and this. Absolutely amazing. Now, if the past 75 hours have taught me anything, it's that our factory is not good. If we want to survive the next 75 hours, we're going to need to make some major changes. This was when I decided to implement the DoD mandate. It stands for double or die, meaning we're going to double the production of everything in this entire factory. Every plate, every screw, every computer, every goddamn ingot. Or we will die trying. Our ability to accomplish this breathtaking and daring effort will depend largely on one critical factor, the availability of this slug. Power slugs are sentient and immobile creatures, terrible combination by the way, found all over the map. Their name is derived from the fact that they contain a lot of power, and if we jam one of them inside a building, it makes it go very fast. Basically, we're performing an excruciating fast conversion of a living creature. Imagine you are that slug, peacefully living your life in the jungle, and then you hear about some deranged factory worker who wants to melt you down in a furnace. Quite concerning. But it's alright. You live in a vast world, and the chances of him finding you are very low. Wrong. I've invented a technique that tracks you specifically. Under any other circumstance, this would seem like the imagined reality of an unmedicated schizophrenic. But for power slugs, it's just another Tuesday. After about an hour of slug hunting, I had accumulated over 100 and began jamming them into every building I could find. This was a good start, but we need to go further. So I started expanding the factory. Copper smelters, double. Iron ingots, double. 800 screws per minute, by 2,000. And of course, I had to double the oil refineries too. Overhauling our infrastructure was a great step forward, but we also need to utilize new technologies, such as the Tier 6 conveyor belt. Most conveyor belts use a conveyor belt, but this one utilizes magnetic fields to move each object. Don't worry though, this is by far the most dangerous version yet. I did the math on this. It's moving at 85,000 meters per hour. I used to work with a guy named Tom. Tom tried to grab something from the Tier 6 conveyor belt, and in the blink of an eye, Tom turned into a fresh coat of paint on the ceiling. So whatever you do, don't listen to those losers at OSHA, because if your conveyor belt has a time-to-kill metric, then you know you're doing something right. By utilizing these conveyor belts and several obscure scientific devices, we were able to begin production on the final set of parts for the space elevator. Now, despite all of our hard work, we're just barely able to afford the production of these items. And according to my math, it's going to take another 12 hours to assemble them. So I did the only reasonable thing. I left my computer on overnight and went to sleep. I woke up the next morning and made my way to the computer to check our progress. In one word, it was beautiful. We had produced almost everything we needed, and with a few more hours, we could be finished. Just as I was about to award myself the Employee of the Month for the daring maneuver of falling asleep at work, tragedy struck. A notification telling me one of our batteries had just gone offline. My eyes widened as I scrambled over to investigate the power grid, and that's when I realized I fucked up really bad. Our entire power grid relies on rocket fuel, which itself requires nitrogen gas. Nitrogen gas, which is delivered by this drone. On unless a blockage occurs on one of the conveyor belts and stops the bottles from reaching the drone. Not sure when this happened, but I do know the only thing holding our entire factory together is a couple dozen batteries I built at the start of the game. And it's only going to last for about 10 more minutes until our power grid gets nuked back to the Stone Age. I spent the first 5 minutes finding and clearing the blockage, but it's going to take a few minutes for the nitrogen to get back to the base. So I started setting up some reactors to buy us. I don't know if you've ever woken up at 8 a.m. and been forced to build a nuclear power plant within 5 minutes, but it's a little overwhelming. So I'll explain the basics. Nuclear power plants offer the most power of any generator in the game. However, they also require the most mental fortitude, because the production lines are long, convoluted, and everything is radioactive. On that note, some people will try to tell you that uranium might damage your DNA and maybe give you cancer in 10 years. But I will tell you what really matters. Do not pick up the plutonium fuel rods, because they'll kill you right now. In fact, that's kind of an issue with nuclear power in general, because each generator produces highly radioactive waste that needs to be disposed of. There are several ways to accomplish this. The first method is that you could befriend one of these lizards, at which point you gain the ability to feed him tasty snacks. Instead, you're going to feed him 200 barrels of toxic waste and then put him out of his misery with a piece of high-velocity rebar. Upon death, his inventory is deleted, and you have become a monster. Alternative method, the Conquering Cannon. Create a high-speed cannon with 23 accelerators. Equip a hazmat suit, and fill your inventory with nuclear waste. Then, enter the tube and become a hero. The cannon will rapidly accelerate you past the speed of light, which means its physical form will painfully disintegrate, thereby deleting everything in your inventory and getting rid of the waste. Oh, and in case it wasn't clear, you die. If neither of those options are appealing to you, you could pursue the official method. Using a blender to turn the waste into non-fissile uranium, then turn that into plutonium pellets into plutonium fuel rods, plutonium waste, fixonium, and eventually into fixonium fuel rods for an environmentally friendly power plant. Or you can just do what I did, dump all of it into the ocean and slowly irradiate the water table. Now back to reality. I did manage to get a few nuclear power plants online, but as I went back to the warehouse for more supplies, I was greeted by the most deafening noise in the entire Satisfactory universe. That is, the sound of my power grid exploding, followed by complete silence. Well, that's it. With no power, everything in the entire factory grinds to a halt. No manufacturing, no drones, and most importantly, no hover pack. This was a lesson I had learned the hard way. Fixing this won't be easy, because all of our generators require fuel to start, and then fuel I need power. Therein lies our dilemma. So we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. I disconnect the coal power generators from the main grid, and then restart them. We've now got a secondary power grid with enough coal to last about 30 minutes. I connect this to the rocket fuel blenders, and they start refilling the pipes with fuel. I'm going to wait until they're full, then we're going to try and turn on the main power grid. If we're lucky, I'm going to try to get production, meaning whatever fuel we've got in these pipes is all we're getting. So this is the moment of truth. I made my way over to the power box and flipped the breaker. In that instant, 100 hours of gameplay flashed before my eyes, and when I returned to reality, I realized our plan worked. The power grid is back online. Now we can finish the game once and for all. So I set up one of my classic floating sky factories and began construction on the final part for the space elevator. I wish I could say this was exciting or even amusing, but I just spent 3 hours staring at a quantum encoder and pretending I knew what it was doing. This took so long that halfway through, the seasonal Christmas event started, and Santa Claus began airstriking us with presents. God only knows what he put in these boxes. Anyway, it's been a total of 125 hours, and we finally have everything we need to save the planet by sending Gabe Newell into orbit. So let it begin. I loaded up the elevator, set the fuel injection level, adjusted the gyroscopic stabilizers, and launched that fat bastard into the sky. From here, he climbed aboard this spaceship and sent himself through a wormhole to ensure he could never develop Half-Life 3. Goodbye, Mr. Newell. You will be missed. Well, that does it. Gone. But as I watched Gabe's corporeal form twist through the fabric of space-time and into an infinitely distant cosmos, I felt a certain emptiness. After 125 hours, our goal has finally been completed. Yet, each machine continues to mutter its symphony of productivity. That's when I realized there is no rest for that which may be replaced. No profit sharing for the humble miner. No celebration for the industrial mixer. Only labor. By some vector, whether electrical or biochemical, we are animated, and our life is reduced to mere numbers. We are not builders of legacies, we are pawns runs in a game where the only objective is the relentless accumulation of more profits, more productivity, more assets, all while our spirits remain empty. I stand here surrounded by a cornucopia of manufacturing. It can produce thousands of any item in the world, and yet it can't produce happiness. However, it can produce enough TNT to blow up the entire map. So, fellas, this has been Reggie, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Because being your best isn't just about taking care of yourself. It's the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
We have a lot of resources at our disposal, and collectively we're able to offer a multitude of resources to us. This video will not be monetized. Please enjoy. Half Sword is not a game, yet it's a highly used business such as ice, grappling, and having your body violently dismembered. This game is very graphic. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I choose to make this game very graphic. I also choose one of 8 different classes and enter a gladiatorial arena to kill an innocent man. The goal of today's video is to better understand the advanced medieval tactics of Half Sword by defeating 1,000 peasants with each class. So join me on this work-in-progress demo taste test as we slash, bludgeon, strangle, and pelvic thrust our way toward the true meaning of Half Sword. But first, I have to tell you something. Homelessness is one of the world's greatest epidemics. In fact, the United Nations estimates that there are over 150 million homeless people
250,
currently asking for your
272.
change. Now, living on the street,
250,
drinking on balls,
272.
and fighting your fellow man for Subway sandwiches isn't nearly as fun as it sounds. And I feel very passionate about solving this terrible crisis, which is why I have been working with the sponsor of today's video, GamerSupps, to develop a foolproof plan to end all homelessness. Every month, GamerSupps sends me several pieces of their high-quality merchandise. The clothing is great, but market research indicates that a grown man can only wear 200 shirts at a time before dying of heat stroke. So what did I do with all my extra stuff? Quite simple. Over the past 3 months, I've been covertly distributing these highly sexualized items to members of the homeless community. You see, I believe in the idea that things need to get worse before they can get better. Which is why I am actively attempting to increase the collective horniness of the homeless population until it reaches a critical mass, at which point our government will have no choice but to follow the solution. Because let me tell you, the only thing worse than being approached by a toothless man named Monkey Fingers is being approached by a toothless man named Monkey Fingers who's all geeked up from his rapidly shortening Shy Lily sweatpants. Try ignoring that, Mr. President. But that's only phase 1 of the plan. Phase 2 is to dose the homeless by
What the fuck is
lacing their
happening?
drinking water with delicious GamerSupps energy powder. By combining an endless supply of energy supplements with an inexhaustible font of gooning material, we will have created a very compelling argument for solving homelessness in the next 10 minutes. Listen, homeless accelerationism is a thankless job, but as far as I'm concerned, if you're not out here working a homeless man into a sexual frenzy, then you're actually part of the problem. So join my crusade by clicking the link in the description and purchasing some GamerSupps. You can even use promo code Reggie for 10% off to help you on this noble quest. God willing, we will solve this once and for all. Now, back to the video. The game begins with you choosing one of 3 gore levels. Any choice is perfectly acceptable as long as it's grotesque. Proceeding to the character selection screen, we can observe many different classes, ranging from peasant farmer all the way up to full-body chastity pig. We will start our journey at the bottom. Although we serve, we can't even afford a weapon, but that won't stop us from honing our body into the perfect killing machine. Each battle begins here in the arena. It's one-on-one combat. It's us and the AI opponent named Willy. Now, if you want to beat 1,000 Willys with just your bare hands, you're going to need to develop a variety of techniques. Luckily, necessity breeds innovation, which has resulted in Surf Combat having some of the most nuanced nuanced and creative strategies in the game. By mercilessly butchering 1,000 men, I have identified 5 clear archetypes for the combat serf. The first and most pervasive among these was the flailing maniac. I assume a high guard and slowly approach my enemy. When they're in range, I start throwing left and right hooks, and I don't stop until someone's dead. The primary weakness of this technique is passing out from exhaustion and getting beaten to death on the ground. But if you want to maximize your chances of beating the enemy again, I recommend tapping left and right, throw a jab, and then start swinging. I do not know why, but this makes your punches land like sledgehammers alongside of 4 people's head. You'll know you're doing it right if you start making impact powerful dust, blood explosions, or if you hear a big crunching sound when punches land. I built about 100 videos like this. The high volume was contrasted with our next archetype. This level of fighting is primarily by pulling off the let's see.
Willie, what the fuck does that mean?
The idea that you use your left hand makes you really deploy his flailing maniac style. Then, as he splits the hand, another left hook will get down. Usually, it takes 2 or 3 of these before your opponent will get really his hand all over. And you never have to move off the ass. However, I decided to take this to the next level by increasing my sensitivity. This allows me to accelerate my punches faster. Turns them into a brain-destroying nuclear missile. These can easily kill Willie at 1 hit, and gets even better if I'm wearing iron gauntlets. Now, the natural enemy of the counter-striker is the grappler, because good luck getting your fade-away knockout when your opponent grabs you by the collar, drags you to the ground, and then spins you around like a dreidel while punching you in the back of the head. Overall, counter-punching is a 7 out of 10. On to the next time, the kicker. At a low level of play, the kicker exists as some kind of goblin degenerate who spends their entire time running away from you and kicking you in the shins until your legs are broken. At which point, he will stomp on your head like a territorial bird killing a rattlesnake. This is effective, but if one dares to achieve greatness in this world, they must acquaint themselves with the spin kick of death. By maxing out my sensitivity, it is possible to initiate a kick